Jim Harbaugh will open at quarterback. There were some doubts about that earlier in the week, but he says he's fine. Up front, the veteran offensive line of Colbert, Bortz, Hilgenberg, Tom Thayer, Van Horn, and James Thornton opens at tight end. In the backfield, Anderson and Muster, and the wide receivers Wendell Davis and Ron Morris. First and two of the biggest. Here's Harbaugh back to throw it. Out to Morris. First down, Bears. Cross midfield. A gain of 25.
This is the thing that Harbaugh wanted to do more. The Bears are really a running team, but he said he didn't want to wait till third down. He wanted to throw some on first down. Here you just see a zone defense, and Morris gets on that second layer. You have a deep layer, a middle layer or second layer, then a short layer. And Morris got on that second middle layer.
In that Philadelphia-Atlanta game, the Eagles are on the Atlanta 30 and going in with 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. Thornton moves over to the right. Morris split out wide to the right. Anderson inside the Denver 40, stopped by Robbins.
Neil Anderson loves that I formation. That's his favorite formation to run from. Now, he starts here. See him in the iPad? He keys the nose tackle. Now, as the ball is going to be handled, see the nose tackle go to the left. Now, he is going to make, see right there, the nose tackle's on the left. Then Neil Anderson is going to run to the right or away from the direction the nose tackle goes.
9-yard pickup, a gain of 9 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 1. Thornton on the move again. The handoff is to Muster this time. Should be enough for a Bear first down. Watford made the stop.
Here's a guy who's come along. I don't know that he's getting any better, but as Mike Ditka says, you know, he was bothered by a back last year, and he said that's a heck of a lot better. And he said maybe we're just using him better. Maybe we're featuring him in a different way, and maybe he's always been that player that they drafted #1 out of Stanford.
He's always been a good pass receiver, and now he's coming into his own somewhat as a runner. And maybe that's the... 2nd and 10 for the Bears. Anderson with the effort. Stopped by Tim Lucas.
There's Mike Ditka now. Remember before they had Greg Landry, who's to the left there, has been calling the plays. Now Mike Ditka has taken over, and he calls most of the plays.
I'm in the backfield. And Elway back to throw it again. And out of the pocket is Elway. Close to a first down as Elway dives with both hands. The Bear defense, Armstrong, William Perry, McMichael, and Richard Dent. The 3 linebackers, Singletary in the middle, Morrissey and Rivera outside. And the secondary, Stinson and Jackson, the cornerbacks, Carrier and Gale.
It was yesterday. That never used to happen. Elway used to get lost on the bench after a series.
Harbaugh on the Bears. Head off is to Anderson. Not much there. Karts, Cragen, and Powers made the stop. A gain of 2 for Anderson.
California, from Pleasanton, where I live. He's always been a tough guy, overachiever.
Anderson, secondary, almost broke it. Stopped by Randy Robbins. A pickup of 7, a little bit shy of a first down.
Now watch this. We were talking about, here's what Anderson keys. Here's Neil Anderson. If the nose tackle goes this way, Anderson goes boom, and he goes the other way. He says the first thing he looks at is that nose tackle. Now watch him. See, he starts here. They got the nose tackle going this way. Boom. He's just going to take it this way. Now the nose tackle goes that way. He brings it right back against the nose tackle.
He does well. There is no score. We have 5:43 left to play in the first quarter. Elway back to throw again. Has to come out of there, or try to. William Perry around his legs.
Yeah, they could talk about Perry being this, but the one thing he has is a little quickness. I mean, he has great strength right in that guard box, but then he has real quickness on either side of the guard. I'll tell you right there, when Elway tried to skirt through, the Fridge showed a little quickness.
6.
Winning's a great deodorant.
3rd and 13. Elway out of the pocket, a flag on the play. Elway has Mark Jackson inside the Bear 15.
That's what John Elway gives you. He got that combination of being able to move around. Then when he can move around, he can find something open. All we got to do is cook it and stuff it, and that'll be some Thanksgiving.
Well, we're still going to eat it. This is Muster over the left side. Ball again to Muster with room and close to a first down. A gain of 7, tripped up by Randy Robbins. In the history of that franchise.
Hey, it could be the best team in the history of that franchise.
Could be. Harbaugh to Muster again. A pickup of 4.
Well, tough to play in there.
Here's Harbaugh back to throw it. He scrambles out and gets it to Muster. Muster out of bounds in Denver territory by about a yard. Knocked out by Atwater. A gain of 6.
I think it's because the face masks are getting bigger.
I think that's right. 2nd and 2. Harbaugh back to throw. He evades the rush, and he's going to take off for a Bear first down.
Normal again.
Bears go with 2 tight ends, Bozo and Thornton. And the handoff is to Anderson. A lot of bodies bouncing on that play.
Yeah, when you have
Atwater up. Excuse me.
No, I was just saying, when you have a tight end.
Anderson this time split wide to the left. And Harbaugh going in that direction. Pass caught by Wendell Davis. Ivan Henderson made the stop. Should be enough for a first.
You see Davis out there. Again, the Broncos are using zone. So he just has to work back in his zone. The corner slips down, so that helps him. So the 2 things. One, the corner slips, Henderson slips, and then Davis works back away from the slip.
The Bears at the Bronco 33. Denver leading 3-0. To Anderson with some room down to about the 25. Stopped by Scott Curtis.
You know, when you take everything that a running back has to do, you know, when he has to run and he has to block and he has to catch, I think this guy is the best in the league today. Just look what he's looking at. We talked about on this play, he is going to watch the nose tackle. He gets the ball. You see those eyes? He's looking right at the nose tackle. Then he is going to run away from that. See that? You see that move? And then the next thing he picks up is the secondary.
2nd and 4. Anderson again. To about the 15. A gain of 11. Stopped by Dennis Smith.
Yeah, if you watch this, you'll see right here. This is what he sees. See, he sees flow coming this way. Now look what he sees back this way. So he makes that cut. That's why a good runner always has his head up, and he not only sees, but feels everything.
A lot of it you see, and a lot of it is instinct.
Instinct. And then if you flow, he'll cut against flow. If you don't flow, he'll run off the blocks.
This is Anderson again. Not much there this time. A gain of perhaps a yard. Simon Fletcher made the stop. Elway slipped down, got back up, got the ball to Ricky Teal. First down again and more. The Rusty Jackson made the stop. He's the Bears 25 flag on the play as Hampton jumped. Teal to the 15. Bobby Humphrey right side. More than enough, and inside the 10 it'll be first and goal. Humphrey tripped up in the backfield by Sean Gale.
That's a great play down there on the goal line by Sean Gale. They tried to go to the left, boom, up comes Gale. Then they go to the right, boom, up comes Gale on that side. Watch him. He's a force and support. He has that outside if you're going to go outside. There was a blocker on him. He played off the blocker and made that tackle.
First down, Bears, their own 13. Harbaugh back to throw it. As Wendell Davis, who gets out of bounds, stops the clock. Gain of 12.
I bet you.
Harbaugh out of there. Slides for a gain of about 8, maybe 9. Out of the way of Steve Atwater. 1 here in Denver, with the Broncos leading the Bears 6-3. Draw play at Anderson, who pops out to about the 40. Make it to 39.
Hey, you wonder how he popped through there. They had Dennis Smith right up there. They had the whole 8 guys up there playing the run, and Anderson just popped through all of them.
First and 10 Bears at their own 39. Harbaugh back to throw it. And out of the pocket again. He's going to take off and get into Bronco territory.
Oh,
Mike is very proud of that jacket he's wearing, too.
That's a nice leather jacket, he says.
Flag on the play. Harbaugh to Kozlowski. Picked up 8, but a penalty marker down. 15, the Bears. Denver leading 6-3. Harbaugh again flushed out of the pocket. To Kozlowski. By Bruce Plummer again. Atwater put the heat on Harbaugh.
I think you think when you got Ron Morris and Davis and Gentry and all those guys, you don't expect the 4th guy, Kozlowski, to get the ball. But he's the guy with the best matchup. Hey, that was a heck of a catch.
But on Thursday, Buster goes in motion. Harbaugh back to throw it. Maybe. Shovels it out to Anderson. They picked up about 3 yards. Anderson outside. Got blockers in front. And got close to it there. First down, I think he has it. Atwater made the stop. From Harbaugh, and he was lucky to get that away. High steps it down for a Bear first down, a pickup of 7. Stopped by Mumford, coach. To Humphrey. Ooh, fumble. A 16-yard gain. Humphrey was really hit.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the Bears have to cause a turnover. They lead the league in it. They haven't had one today, and then on this play they get it.
Hit by Carrier and hit very hard. Bobby Humphrey.
You can see it. He's going to break through there. Mark Carrier is the safety, number 20. Good hole, good cut. Watch him when he gets him from the side and the front, and the ball just pops out of there.
And Humphrey
viewed that one and decided it was inconclusive, but it is the Bears' ball.
At the Bronco 35, and Anderson gets about 9 or 10 yards. Humphrey on the sideline.
Second half woes.
And Anderson, first down Bears. Be Denver, but the Bears moving closer. 3rd and 3. There's the Denver 16. Handoff is to Mustard. And he should have the first down at about the 10. Henderson brought him down, but Mustard got 6.
That was good running by Brad Muster and good second effort. He just kept working on that one. That had been one of the Bears' problems, Pat. They were 0 for 5 on 3rd down. This was their 6th 3rd down, and the first one they picked it up. Watch, he just gets right back in there behind his right guard, Tom Thayer. Waits for Thayer to make that block. Then boom, he runs off it.
Right. Harbaugh, draw play to Mustard. Dragged down at about the 15 by Randy Robbins again. After a gain of 4, it looked like it was going to be a lot more.
The Broncos were worried about their secondary. Robbins makes 2 great plays here. The first one on a coverage, the second one on an open field tackle. If Robbins doesn't make this tackle, then Muster is going to get a first down or maybe a touchdown.
Elway has his pass picked off by Jim Morrissey. He was under heavy pressure from Dan Hampton. He can block out a lot of lanes.
And that is the thing. You see, Hampton gave him the rush like you said, and he made him throw around him. He had to throw that ball around Hampton, and in doing so, he threw it right there, maybe trying to throw it away, but Morrissey comes up with the interception.
And again, those turnovers in the 3rd quarter particularly, and the interceptions in the 3rd quarter.
You know, that is what has made Denver 3 and 6, and that's what made the Bears 8 and 1, because the Bears lead the league in getting turnovers.
Morris split wide to the right. A handoff to Anderson. Gain 6, stopped by Munford. Was 3 years ago. 10 knee operations, who would be?
But he still wants to play and enjoys it.
Here's Anderson. Picked up 5, stopped by Powers. I think he got enough for a first down. Back to Anderson. Couple of yards for Neal.
That's right, a lot of frustration.
That's Anderson again. Stopped by Brooks this time. He gained 2 yards. The Bears at the Bronco 24. Harbaugh to throw. Just barely does get it out to Muster, who breaks a tackle and gets a first down. Good running by Brad Muster.
Harbaugh is doing more and more of that after he completes a pass, going over and talking to Ditka on the sideline. Either that or he hurt himself. But instead of waiting for the signal, he's going over and he's getting it directly from the man. You know, there's something.
1st and 10 at the 13. Anderson goes in motion. Muster gets the carry. Picks up 3 down to about the 10. Mecklenburg on the bottom of the pit.
That Bears sideline, they're all out on the field.
This is Muster. Muster touchdown.
Good ideas come when you bend over. Do that. You just give that draw play to Muster, who is really becoming a pretty dominant part of this Chicago Bear offense.
You know, we were talking about, you said that Neal Anderson took his helmet off. The altitude might be getting to him. He might be getting tired. must have ran the next 3 plays.
I know it. That's the thing, and they used Anderson as a decoy. And again, I said this is where it started. Remember,
He had was up and high in his chest, right under the collarbone. Humphrey is hammered behind the line of scrimmage by Hampton.
Hey, we were talking about Hampton not being what he used to was, maybe, but he's still capable of making a play in there. You're not going to do a lot of things with Hampton and Refrigerator in there. You're not going to get a lot of movement. Watch Big 72. They're trying to double team him, and in doing so, look what Hampton does. I mean, he hits the guy, knocks him backwards, dislodges the ball, the head snaps back, the numbers ruffle, the ball falls out of there.
Here's a guy that is rapidly becoming a very effective player.
Well, he's a rookie out of Fresno State, and he had a year left to college eligibility. He came out a year early. In fact, Mark Carrier, both Carrier and Ron Cox have, and they're going to be players that are good players now for the Bears and are going to be good players for them for a long time.
3rd and 3. The Broncos at the Bear 38. Bears blitz it, and Elway hit from behind by Sean Gale. 6-yard loss. Elway never saw it.
There is a guy that has played a heck of a game, Sean Gale. And if you watch him just coming from the backside, what you see, he starts me out. We can stop it now. He's going to be the guy right here. He started outside as a cover guy. Then he let him see him cover. Then he comes. They get blocked. He gets just bumped off. And
Harbaugh back at quarterback. The handoff is to Anderson. Out to about the 20. Andre Townsend. Denver 1st and 10 at their own 31. Away. Down the sideline. And pass caught by Humphrey, who struggled to get away from the Bear defenders but made the completion. 26-yard pick, trailing by a touchdown. Elway back to throw it. The Bears blitz it. Ron Cox. A loss of 9, the 3rd sack by the Bears.
I'll tell you, you don't think what the Refrigerator did to him helped him. Here's Cox up here. He's going to come from the outside. We saw the Refrigerator on the sideline pumping some air in him. He goes right by Humphrey and hits Elway right in the back. And when he hit him, did he give him a jolt? Other than one.
Elway by Dent.
There's a one. It finally happened. That was what Dan Reeves was worried about. Darrell Hamilton having to block Richard Dent. Richard Dent plays at about 5 speeds. If he plays at that 5th, no one in football can block him. Watch Big Richard. He's standing up. He's down sometimes. He's up sometimes. Richard Dent could be the play that wins the game for him because a touchdown ties it up, but Dent is having none of that.
Need 5 for a first. They'll try Mustard. Down after a gain of 1 by Henderson.
Here the Bears have run 36 times.
3rd and about 9. It's Rouse. Short of the first down by about a yard as he got 7, stopped by Ron Holmes. And the Bears will have to punt at the 9. Elway in the spread. This is a called play. Elway's in. First and 10, their own 27. Harbaugh rolls right, goes left, pass complete. to Ron Morris. First down Bears, stopped by Corrington and Clark. That's Morris who's down.
Hey, Morris had to do that. He catches the ball, and as he turns, watch number 20, Kevin Clark, just comes in there and hits him. There was nothing he could.
Any games like that before. 2nd and 8. Harbaugh out of the spread. To Anderson. Anderson inside the 30 to about the 29. Tripped up finally by David Galloway, and a fine play by Harbaugh.
And a fine play by Neil Anderson, and a fine call. That play put him in field goal range.
And Harbaugh stops the clock with 21 seconds left. Conscious of anybody being around. Anderson stopped by Plummer. Gets inside the 25. The upright. And it's no good. Close. Elway has Humphrey behind him. Broncos have to play again on Thursday in Detroit. The fake is to Humphrey. The pass to Bratton is complete. This is Houston over Cleveland. 3rd down and 4. Elway under pressure. Down he goes. Trace Armstrong gets the sack. A loss of 5.
The one they needed. Here's Trace Armstrong. Watch his pass rush on Lanier. Outside, bull rush, then back to the inside. Then a good tackle on Elway. That was what they needed. The Bears needed to.
Harbaugh back to throw it, gets it out to Muster. And Muster slides to about the 40. A pickup of 14 and a Bear first down.
Now the Bears have to do again just what they did just before the end of regulation. Play pass, get the ball out to Muster. This is the thing they do best. Get it out to Muster. Now if they could do the same thing, get it out to Neil Anderson, let him break a run in the open and get down in there and get in that field goal range again.
Muster has 2nd down. Harbaugh gets to Muster again. Hit by Brooks after a gain of 6. On 3rd down, Elway is cut down. About the 18 by Ron Cox again.
I tell you, he's only a rookie, but I think if you're going to give out a game ball, you have to think of a guy like Ron Cox. He's had some sacks. He's spying Elway now. He's sitting back there. He wasn't a rush guy. Watch him. He comes into the picture there and makes that tackle. He was standing behind the line spying John Elway.
Bailey, the rookie. Back to about the 38. And the Bears will take over there. 55-yard punt, 11-yard return. Bears will take over at their own 38-yard line. 7:56 now left in the overtime period. Harbaugh is going to get the first down. Nudged out by David Galloway, but he got enough.
I think he hurt his leg too, Pat, but he was looking for that first down all the way. I think he stretched something back there. That's a hamstring. See, he's looking all the way. First, he's looking to pass. Now he's looking pass, pass, pass. He wants to pass. Now he's looking to run. Now he has to go and get by that thing. I think right there he pulled the hamstring.
And Mike Tomczak is 2nd and 10. Harbaugh gives to Muster. Muster got maybe 4 yards before Munford, and Townsend knocked him down.
I think for the Bears to come in a block.
Doesn't look like they're going to. Bailey, close to midfield, will handle it there. He's going to put the Bears in pretty good shape. They're at the 34-yard line of Denver.
Right now, that would be a 51-yard field goal attempt.
48-yard punt, 19 running, and 2:25 left in overtime. Harbaugh back to throw it. He has his tight end Thornton, who stretches for as many yards as he can get. He got 9 from 44 yards. Kevin Butler. And it's good. So the Bears in overtime improved their record to 9-1. That was not really a thing of beauty, but the Bears
opposing sidelines at Mile High Stadium in Denver as the Chicago Bears visited the Denver Broncos, and what a difference a year makes. Broncos in the Super Bowl last year, the Bears struggling. It's the other way around. Nice week for Reeves and John Elway, wasn't it, Tom, in Denver? First quarter, though, Elway says, I want to be involved in the game plan. Dan says, all right. And he finds Mark Jackson for 33 yards, setting up a Treadwell field goal, and the Broncos grab an early 3-0 lead. Ditka calling the plays for the Bears. Jim Harbaugh's young quarterback throws it in the end zone. And watch Neil Anderson. This is unbelievable. But the replay shows that Anderson was out of bounds and came back in. They settled for a Butler field goal. It's 3-3. Vance Johnson left the game early with a bruised foot. He came back 3rd down as Elway finds him for a big hookup to keep the drive alive, settling for a Treadwell field goal. Broncos, for the 9th time in 10 weeks, they lead at the half, 6-3. Bears having trouble getting it going, but the Bronco fans know what happens in the second half. Bobby Humphrey, stuck by Mark Carrier, fumbles. The Bears recovered, settle for a field goal. We're tied at 6. Bears lead the NFL in turnover plus-minus ratio, +16. Elway, every interception this year's come in the second half. That from Jim Light My Fire Morrissey. Then Brad Muster carries the ball in from the 10, and the Bears lead at 13-7. Wade Phillips' defense playing well, but they finally broke down. Fridge helping Ron Cox get some oxygen. That'll help you breathe. 4th quarter, here's Ron Cox from the weak side, Tommy.
Coming from that weak side, and that's the spot that would be occupied by Gerald Perry, so they definitely missed him today.
And that was Dent coming in on the same side that you mentioned. Elway to Mark Jackson with 4 minutes to go, and the Broncos down by a touch. Elway takes it himself, gets the hit, but keeps on ticking, goes into the end zone. We're tied at 13. The Bears drive down the field. 41-yarder at the end of the game. It is doink. It's off the post. We're going to overtime. In overtime, Broncos won the toss, had the ball first. They played for 13 minutes, but this time, no post, just a 44-yard field goal for Kevin Butler. The Bears and Mike Ditka beat Dan Reeves and the Broncos 16-13, and the Bears' only blemish on their season, a loss early on to the Raiders. The Broncos fall further into the basement of the AFC West at 3-7. Everybody's looking to that Niners-Giants game in a couple weeks on Monday night, December the 3rd. We throw out this scenario just to think about. If the Bears win all their remaining games and the Giants and the Niners win all their remaining games except somebody has to lose that December 3rd game, it is possible that the loser of the Niners-Giants game could be 15-1, but would be the 3rd seed in the NFC playoffs, would have to face an extra game in the playoffs, and probably would only be home for 1 game. It never occurred to you that the loser of that game at 15-1 could be the 3rd seed in the NFC, but that's looking ahead.
Game tied. Back came the Broncos, though, as Mike Ditka looked on from the Bears sideline, and with 3 minutes left to play in the half, they regained the lead on Treadwell's 2nd field goal of the half. and that's where it stayed at halftime. 6-3, Denver leading. The Broncos, though, had unraveled in the second half a lot this season, and it happened again this afternoon. Bobby Humphrey plastered by Mark Carrier. The ball comes out, and the Bears recover. That set up yet another field goal try, this one by Kevin Butler from 32 yards out. Right through with 5:04 to play in the third. The game tied again, 6-6. 2 plays later, the Bears had the football back again. Elway back to throw, pressured by Dan Hampton and intercepted by Jim Morrissey. Bears in business at the Denver 40-yard line. This time they get a touchdown. Neil Anderson gained over 100 yards today, but Brad Muster got the score on 2nd down and 7 from the 10. He blew in there to make it 13-6 Bears with 8 seconds to go in the third. And with the Chicago defense working over the Broncos on D, it looked like the Bears had had this one put away. Ron Cox with a couple of sacks today, put Elway down here, and the Bears were still in charge, but with 1:14 left, the Denver quarterback finally got him in the end zone. He took him there himself on a quarterback draw. 13-13 tie, 1:14 to play in regulation time. The Bears, though, still had a chance to win it. They worked it down the field, 3 seconds left. Kevin Butler, a 40-yard field goal try. Hooking left, it hit the left upright right in the middle and bounced back. Overtime, 13-13. The defense had to go back to work. William Perry trying to jumpstart Ron Cox on the sideline, and it worked. Another sack on Elway by Cox, who had his best game of his young NFL career. Rolling to the right, Cox ran him down inside the 20. The Broncos never did have a chance and had to kick from way back in the end zone. Johnny Bailey back to receive this one, just on the other side of the 50, and one of Bailey's best punt returns of the season. Across the 40, across the 35, 34-yard line, already in field goal range. And then Butler with a chance to redeem himself does it from 44. And the Bears go to 9-1. The final score, 16-13. They knock off Denver in overtime. Double drama today for Kevin Butler, who just as soon go home and forget about this game after missing the initial opportunity to win the game, even though he did come through the second time around. More now from Kevin and the rest of the Bears in the post-game report from Sid Garcia.
The defense wanted for the Bears. A fumble recovery and an interception led to the tying and go-ahead scores in the third quarter.
Yeah, well, I think this will give us a little more confidence going into the stretch of the season. I think we're capable of winning a lot of games, and as long as we play together, like I said, we'll be all right.
Denver's only scoring drive in the second half was the Bears' only blemish on defense. The Broncos had their chances to win it in regulation, but the Bears' defense held, sacking any Bronco threat.
Well, when you face good teams like Denver, you have to make sure you don't leave anything uncovered. And I think with the pressure we had up front and the coverage, you needed both in conjunction to make things work for you.
Kevin Butler's try to win it in regulation gave the Broncos new life. That was short-lived in overtime as the Bears' defense came through once again.
During the process of the game, we started getting back in the corner, so I had to try to reach down inside and, pull something out of the hat, and I just kept the faith and kept on playing hard, and good things turned out for him.
All Kevin Butler prayed for was a second chance to redeem himself.
I was praying for Richard Dent to get a sack. I was praying for anybody to get out there with a win because, they played too hard to come out here and to let it slip away on the field goal and hit the upright. So, hats off to the guys. They did a great job. I just came in and did my job.
It's hard to have a team win, and it's hard to have a team lose under these circumstances because I feel so close to Dan. But we've set some goals for our team early in the year, and we're trying to reach it. And we had some added incentive. We had a dear friend of ours who passed away Saturday morning, and she'll enjoy it. But I really don't have anything else.
That special fan was 12-year-old Becky Bell, who died of cancer. Reporting from Denver, I'm Sid Garcia, WGN News.
A sad footnote to what otherwise was a happy day for the Bears in Denver. Again, they win it by a final score of 16-13.
And the game that remains their lifeblood. Unfortunately, it's not exactly a stress-free environment. On Sunday, neither the Bears nor the Broncos reached the end zone until the second half, when Chicago head guard Tom Thayer, number 57, to thank for providing escort service for fullback Brad Muster.
Gives to Muster, off the left side, cuts it back to the ball. Touchdown! And he
The Bears' 13-6 lead held up well into the final period before Broncos quarterback John Elway took matters and the football into his own hands.
The 5-yard line. He goes for a touchdown. John Elway was hit at the 2-yard line by Tate.
With less than a minute to play in regulation, the Bears made their move toward the go-ahead score. Neil Anderson's key catch and run moved the ball into position for the winning field goal off the foot of kicker Kevin Butler.
41-yard field goal attempt. Slight angle to the left side. The kick by Butler rises to the upright, and it is hit the left upright and bounded away. No good. We will go to overtime.
Oh, wow. Hit the upright and came back the other way. Oh, wow.
The Broncos had every opportunity to score in overtime. 3 times they had possession, but never got beyond their own 35. For this, the most thankful man in Denver was Kevin Butler, who was granted a second chance to provide the game-winning points.
To the upright, and it is Kevin Butler with a line drive.
It wasn't pretty, was it?
The Bears' win drove the Broncos deeper into the cellar and solidified Chicago's position at the top of the NFC Central.